one thing too is there's moments in this movie like Dan Truly pointed out, and my daughter pointed out when we were watching it, that the alien vogues up to space. The alien does the vogue routine and sort of like signals with its movements how the ship is to respond. Right? Am I interpreting that scene? Did you make it to that, or did your feed shut out?
I don't know if I made it that far. I tell you what I remember is that there was a lot of these straight down shots, which I think were very effective. Talking about shots again, which is symptomatic of an ill movie. But in this one particular shot, which I thought was pretty cool, well, she was in a car and she was driving along, and as she was escaping in this car, and the camera was up in the sky, you would see these little insignias in the grass, that little crescent, whatever. And you'd see that it was like continued across the countryside. And you realize in that moment that the aliens had probably taken over the planet.
Yeah. And that's one of those like foreshadowing moments that were done really well, and filmmakers sometimes get right. The intriguing element that makes you think about the impending doom that's going on outside of the box you're watching. You know, see, aliens is a big topic right now. And I mean, we've had the hearings on Capitol Hill and all the footage and what is that. But I actually, as a guy who thinks that we're already specimens in a galactic alien ant farm, that just our universe is basically in a bigger box for them to observe, I'm not so sure that the First Contact type movies are the direction we need to go in, though they are very entertaining. Close Encounters to me still remains to probably be the foremost, maybe most effective movie of this nature, even though it didn't have it had some of the fear element in the beginning as its momentum got going, but it wasn't ultimately about that. It wasn't an impending doom movie. But I still think Spielberg probably nailed it better than a lot of other filmmakers
I agree. I agree. And I think that it's a testimony to his storytelling and his and his, all of his skill sets as a filmmaker to make that work. Because I think there are better ideas out there, like you said, about aliens amongst us, for instance. And one of them had David Bowie in it, I believe. Is that right?
Man Who Fell to Earth.
And this was not a very well-made movie, but the idea was terrific. This guy was here, and he had to build a machine to get him off of the planet. And I love that idea. That's a great idea. And it just wasn't, they didn't have the Steven Spielberg, skill sets to carry it off.
No, that was Nick Rogue who directed that, and it was a great idea. And I have friends who worked on it who since told me that Bowie he's passed away. We lost him. But Bowie didn't even remember working on it. He was doing so much blow. and Bowie admitted it. Bowie basically admitted that he had a problem at the time, and he doesn't even recall his tour of duty on The Man Who Fell to Earth, which has since been rebooted. All right, last question on aliens for a director before we bounce to The Exorcist, because time's of the essence today. Have you worked with aliens on any of your projects? I know you did The Flash, and you've done some superhero stuff, but aliens?
No aliens. No aliens. I'm totally not. No aliens.
I mean, there was the Wayne's World 2 movie, which had some, unique unidentified elements to it, but including Aerosmith right out of rehab. But no aliens as of yet. There's a future for you there. Now someone's going to tap you for an alien movie.
And I think it's a fascinating topic, but no, I haven't had the opportunities.
Your road to redemption is paved with tombstones. No quarter, kill all masters. Go to noquarterkillallmasters.com. Rated R.